pictures, he was standing in some really provocative poses, and I wonder if he's just like,
is he just a very friendly gorilla? Is this what makes him
or
sexy?
he like is a little more sexual, and is like, you know what I mean?
It could be, but I just thought it was fascinating. But here's another. I'm like, okay, like 2 weeks from now, is there going to be like a really sexy, hippopotamus somewhere? I don't understand. I mean, what's going?
Lion,
maybe,
yeah.
Oh yeah, sexy panther. Ooh, I don't know. It's a gorilla.
I mean, well, and
I was really like, okay, I'm just like, what is going on here?
my favorite thing about gorillas is when they get mad, they'll poop and throw it at people. Have you ever seen them do that at a zoo?
No.
Best thing I ever witnessed in my entire life was this crappy, nasty, snotty little Boy Scout taunting the gorilla at the San Diego Zoo, just being a little pissant, right? And nobody was making him mind, just doing what they do. And the gorilla finally had enough. He squatted, took a gigantic gorilla-sized dump, reached down, picked it up, and just hucked it and just completely slathered this kid in gorilla shit.
It wasn't glass covered.
It was fantastic. No, it was a chain link fence, right. and he did that little. Now look who's crying, screaming his. Can you imagine what that must have smelled like? And everybody in the crowd was like, "Woo, justice, baby!"
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, that is really funny.
Yeah, so don't piss off a gorilla at the zoo. I'm telling you right now.
Our gorillas are only inside are they behind glass. The outside enclosure is
they could
fenced.
They could fling some caca.
Oh, they are absolutely. Okay, so I'm a little disappointed. I mean, Michael's been here. This is kind of in honor of Michael because he pointed out last week we did a story about Deliciously Disabled coming up on the 14th of July in Toronto. And it's really just kind of it's an event trying to destigmatize sex among people that have various physical disabilities, wheelchair, what have you. Great. Well, something that Michael was reading in, attached with that.
He showed me.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. So this guy that paints with his penis. But here's what perhaps is even more astounding. Number one, the art's pretty impressively good. Number two, there's not just one guy that's famous for doing this. There's like 3 well-known penis painters, okay? Not the least of which who goes by the name Pricasso, okay? But the guy that is featured in Canada, the Vancouver dude.
Okay.
Oh my God. His name is Brent Ray Fraser. Did you get a load of his bod?
Yeah, Michael showed me.
It wasn't just the member, which in and of itself is okay.
Well, that was kind of covered in paint. You couldn't really see.
Oh, trust me, I could see some highlights. It's like he's got a big brush. Okay, I'm just saying. But oh my God, he's been a bodybuilder for years, and he got into weightlifting because he was countering bullying. And I mean, his body is. I mean, seriously. But anyway, he's done the takeoff on Marilyn Monroe, the Warhol version of Marilyn Monroe, and it's really. Did you see that one, Liz?
I didn't see the end product. No. The video was too long.
I glanced. Yeah, I glanced. I
was like, I'm not watching this with you, Michael.
No, I watched a little bit of it. I was thinking, I'm like, well, there's a level of detail that I did not expect for a penis painting.
Yeah. And he talks about the article's really interesting, and he looks like a pretty fun guy. I mean, like at one point he went and made sure had a doctor assure him that smoking cigarettes is more harmful than putting paint on your penis. So he wanted to make sure
it depends on as long as he's not painting with lead. Right?
Yeah.
Lead-based
I would avoid the lead-based. Yeah, the membranes down there would probably be a very bad idea.
So he really loves it. He says sex is the ultimate subject, and without it, none of us would be here. So I don't get what all the fuss is about. But he does, depending on what he's trying to create, and he went to art school. I mean, he actually had a job at one point. He worked for Louis Vuitton to draw women wearing shoes, but he got out of that because he was afraid he'd get pigeonholed as a shoe fetish guy. So he decided to start painting with his dick because that's so much less surprising.
Totally.
Yes, no one's gonna pigeonhole you there.
No, it's at least a little nicer than the lady that uses her.
The menstrual fluid.
Yeah, to paint with.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the artistic statement there.
I wish I could unhear that.
Yeah, but I find, and the thing is, there's more than one woman who does that too. Yeah. And some of the stuff, I'm sure that you wouldn't notice offhand, but the bodily fluids usually get put in a red bag at a hospital for a reason. And I think that's the part that that gets
at least he's using paint.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm freaked out by, but a person's bodily fluid should pretty much
stay with your body,
or
dispose of properly.
yeah, I mean, that's just, I just find that just a little
disturbing.
bit beyond my realm of understanding. But I mean, but when I look at some of the pictures, if I didn't know what it was, once again, it was actually pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you can make art out of anything.
But this guy is awesome. I mean, it's not just the art he produces; it's the when he's actually making the art.
He's a performance artist and who has a product that he says he signs with his DNA. But he says depending on what he's trying to do, he either paints hard or flaccid.
When he's all done.
Well, somewhere in there, yeah. So, but that's less freakish to me because it could, Anyway, all right. So something else that Michael found being all this crew, and we're going to get to this being up all night.
This is what we get when we can't sleep because they're just sort of fun things. I'm like, I can imagine if someone ever looked at my browser history, it would be hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, what kind of pop-up ads do you get for behavioral target marketing, Colleen? I'd love to see those. Quite frankly,
I giggle because I can't have the filters on. Because I need to be able to do what I'm doing on a regular basis, looking at companies and this and that, and so I end up with, with a ton of more spam than most folks should get.
Yeah,
just drives me crazy.
If you ever accidentally, and this is totally just an aside question for you, but have you ever been diverted to a site that scared the hell out of you that could have been illegal by accident?
No, that's what I find fascinating. I mean, I've been doing this for over 25 years. I have never run across anything where I felt even remotely that I should contact an authority and say, look what I found. So I'm always fascinated when people use that excuse, I just ran across it. My answer is bullshit. Because I search all over for things. I find, we hear about it. Someone goes, there was a toy that did, anything or a story or if I'm, there was a lot of times I'm searching for items that most people will not. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have never run across anything like that. So I was an accident. I'm like, no.
The worst thing I get is I'm looking for pictures for Dream Girl, which is a lingerie company. And sometimes, like if I'm looking for Dream Girl and then I put the style number, I get some weird,
like maybe ads for people advertising themselves type of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's part of a phone number or a site, a profile number or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's fetish sites and stuff like I'm trying to decide. Fantasy Gifts joined as a local company or a website called FetLife, so people with fetishes can do that, and so I'll post things there. I search all over places. I do not run across the creep stuff that like TV likes to make television shows about. I don't know what this is, and you ever hear the word "I found it by accident"? If I can't find it by accident, someone else is searching for it.
Okay, that's interesting because you come by the skepticism honestly, and I appreciate that. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so one more Michael thing before we get to yours. This was funny, okay? So he sends me this thing that says, "Careful, Kelly, I come across some crazy shit at night," and it's 11 animals that are having kinkier sex than we are. You guys, this is a must-read. Did you look at this, Colleen?
I have run across some of them before, but I didn't. I decided that I would see if I could be surprised this morning.
Okay, giraffes. They are some kinky motherfuckers. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
The giraffe. Listen to this. They do this thing called the Fleshman sequence, and the males. Because let's just be honest, the whole mounting process when you're a giraffe, even though they do technically have the same number of vertebrae that we do, it's not an easy thing. I mean, everybody has to be balanced and all this kind of stuff. So we want to make sure this is what we want to do before we get involved, right? So he goes up to the female and nudges her butt with her nose to cause urination. Just touch her and she pees, I guess. Then he drinks the pee to see if she's his flavor. So that's how he decides if...
So in other words, a giraffe, you can tell whether or not a giraffe's ovulating by the taste of their urine?
Yeah.
Or whether or not they're a match or they're attracted to each other and whatever that means for giraffedom.
That's not like your giraffe sister or anything like that?
They probably wouldn't like it. It's a Darwin thing, probably.
Well, I think it's the same thing with us. Pheromones, somebody smells good, then they're probably the good partner for you.
I'm just glad we don't have to go that far. Exactly. You know what I mean? That we can just kind of go...
Once again, down to the bodily fluids, just you want to get to. At one point there's going to be the swapping of the bodily fluids, but it has to be during the you don't do it beforehand.
Well, and I would like to disclaim that nothing against the golden shower people, right? Yeah. Okay, just saying, not my thing.
No, but they don't necessarily drink it.
No. No. But just in case.
Yeah.
Because we're inclusive here, right? Okay. So next up, snails. This one cracks me up. A lot of snails, a lot of us probably know, they're hermaphrodites, and their sexual organs are in their necks. And the author of this says this makes snails cool for 2 different reasons. one, easy access, okay, like right here, and then the ability to have sex with themselves or each other to the same effect. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys are in the business to make that possible for everybody, right?
They're not worried about inbreeding. If they can have sex with
clearly
themselves.
not.
Yeah, obviously.
Clearly not.
There's no lonely snails.
No.
I suppose not. Barnacles?
No Tinder for snails. You just don't need it.
There's a Tinder for dogs. Tin Dog. I read about it. I forgot to put it in the outline. Yes, it's Tin Dog. And it's not for breeding. It's for play dates and stuff like that. And then you're encouraged to put a profile of yourself. So like, that you can talk to the owners. Like, so if you've got a rabid Frisbee dog, you're going to find another lab to go play Tin Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so barnacles. Have you ever heard about this one? This one's gross. This is
Is that
upsetting.
really an animal?
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's a shellfish. Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Barnacle. Barnacle penis stretches up to 8 times its body length, and it will blindly reach into any neighboring barnacle it can find to deposit sperm. That's just diabolical.
Well, you would have to, because if you're attached to something, you're
Yeah,
not
they
like
don't move.
scampering around. Once you've decided this is where you're going to be.
They just like
Yeah.
reach around.
What-
reach
right
around.
right there. Ah!
what I would be thinking about would be funny is that, like, okay, so you've got this whole evolutionary process. It's like, the barnacles with the 2-foot dicks didn't live, and the barnacles with the 4-foot dicks didn't live, and the barnacles with the 6-foot dicks didn't live. But the barnacles with the 8-foot dick, that one lives.
Or 8 times their body size.
Or 8 times their body size. Yeah,
That's funny.
The parting line on this description is, if it can't find a neighbor, it'll just inseminate itself, although that doesn't sound nearly as fun. Oh, my God.
What I want to know is, like, I suppose at one point there's going to be a lone barnacle, but after a while,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're so inbred that they're like blind and cross-eyed barnacles, and they don't have eyes. Oops.
I just...
Sorry. Oh. Bowerbird. Have you ever seen one of these things?
Did they play hockey?
No, but they are so pretty. They are so pretty. The male bowerbird, Google these things. They are absolutely unbelievable. And the video of them, the males spruce up their nest with hundreds of monochromatic things that they salvage. And he gets his like feng shui just the way he wants it, right? Hoping to get his groove on. And if anybody messes it up, I mean, they just have a meltdown, because it has to be just like, right, bounce, right? Okay. So they strut, they dance, they sing, and throw things around for the lady bowerbirds to try to attract them into the nest. Did you see them?
It's so pretty.
It's the nest.
It's a very, very pretty.
So in other words, I mean, the first shiny thing that they find that's in one color, then they search for other colors?
Yeah, and it's interior design at its finest, bird style. Pretty cool. But watching them dance is a stitch. And it's like, yeah, they're really...
Boogie woogie woody.
Yeah, seriously. Colleen's just getting a little... We'll put this up.
Looking at the pictures, I'm like, do they only pick blue? And now there's a blue picture, there's a red picture.
They look like blackbirds, though. They're black.
Well, the one that I saw was yellow with red, and I mean, must have been, I don't know, maybe different picture. But next up, this one's kind of well known, but there is something in here that I can tie to a previous Great Northern Sex Cast, the Black Widow. We know they practice cannibalism, which means that they will, possibly eat their partner after or during copulation. So, to avoid self-sacrifice, the males do the spider equivalent of twerking to give off that low vibration, letting the woman know that they come as a partner and not as dinner. Remember when we did the spider sex noises on the leaves?
Oh, that's right. They were rustling and stuff like that.
So it's like, hey, baby, I come in peace. Don't eat me.
Don't eat me.
Yeah.
Not till we're done.
Right. Gross.
I'm okay with spiders. I mean, as long as they are not in my space. If they're in my space, I will attack them with a vengeance that just you should not. Like, see one crawling across my bed, I'm beating it to death.
Oh, yeah.
with the remote control
For sure.
If it's outdoors, as long as and I can see it, well, it's fine. It's outdoors. It's over there. But I
killed one this morning. Of course, I always have to scream my head off when I see one in the house. And I mean, he was dead after the first 8. But
I put them outside.
See, I did that for dragonfly.
I have the theory that if you kill one 8 more will come.
Yep.
Okay.
So I put
Great.
it outside.
No. Great.
No, for the most part, but when it's crawling across my bed, that's it. Other places, I've done that. We've saved, or Sarah at the office will save them, or other